Next case, remember Global Mantics went into the business of selling Star Wars memorabilia here. So we're going to rearrange our network a little bit. Here I have my inside PC in my trusted zone and the web server in my untrusted zone, and we're going to have to do some rearranging here. Perspective changes everything about trusted and untrusted. So now let's imagine that I am the web administrator and server administrator for the server that supports the Star Wars memorabilia web page. So we're just going to call that the web server at this time. The individuals that are browsing to my web server, they're not going to be on the inside, they're actually going to be on the internet, which means that we need to put the web server in our trusted zone and the internet PC in our untrusted zone in this case. Now that we have our web server in our trusted zone and the PC in the untrusted zone, now we can talk about how we're going to get that internet PC to be able to send a TCP SYN message into our web server and get a response. Typically, remember from that previous example, all TCP SYN messages from the untrusted zone are blocked. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some access rules to accomplish this. So we'll give my devices some IP addresses here. The TCP state table will still exist and will still be used. The state table records state of traffic in both directions, flowing from trusted to untrusted and from untrusted to trusted. It's just that when we flow from untrusted to trusted, we're typically blocking that traffic unless we add in an access rule. So in this case, what I want is my internet PC to be able to send a TCP SYN message to the web server. So what I do is on this untrusted zone interface, I apply this access rule. And I say, if the source IP address and port number are anything, and the destination IP and port number are 192.168.10.10 port 80, my web server, allow that traffic. And if you remember from Cisco's version of implementing access control lists, the last line of any access control list, or in this case, the access rules, is going to be deny everything. So we're only going to allow this specific traffic, and we're going to deny everything else. Here's how this works then. Our internet PC wants to retrieve the Star Wars memorabilia website. To do that, we need the TCP three-way handshake. We send the TCP SYN message in. We're first going to compare it to our access rule. And in this case, we have a permitted traffic. This traffic is permitted to come into the network. We then record the state of that connection. And then we forward that message onto the web server. Now the web server can reply to that TCP SYN, and we can go through our SYN, SYNACK, ACK process because in this case, we have this access rule. Let's take a look at what we're expecting here with desired firewall operation. The traffic that we're permitting is flowing from trusted to untrusted and the return traffic. So that if we're in the trusted zone, we can get out to the internet and get traffic back from the internet. The other permitted traffic is if we have traffic from untrusted to trusted, if it's explicitly allowed, and only if it's explicitly allowed. Our denied traffic is going to be any traffic flowing from untrusted to trusted interfaces, unless, of course, we're explicitly allowing the traffic.